Hello, wonderful interpreters. Thank you for tuning in. This video contains a segment of the live stream that we had back on June 6th this year, when we shared PERC selections process from their website. As I said in my last video, we have already contacted PERC to start the election process. So please take a few minutes to watch this video in order to have a better understanding of the process. PERC stands for Public Employment Relations Commission, and this is the state agency that's in charge of conducting elections for a variety of things. But what we're going to focus right now is on union representation. It says right here, employee rights. If you read with me, public employees in Washington state have the right to organize for the purpose of collective bargaining. As an employee, you have the right to form, join, or assist labor or employee organizations, bargain collectively through a representative of your choice, pretty much what we're looking to do right here. So we're going to go to new organizing right here to illustrate the process that it's going to be conducted. So it says right here, new organizing. A petition for new organizing may only be filed by a labor organization to, one, form a new bargaining unit of currently unrepresented employees or add unrepresented employees to an existing bargaining unit. So what we're trying to do is the first right here, form a new bargaining unit of currently unrepresented employees. Interpreters that cover jobs with the Department of Labor and Industries, whether it is through independent contracting, directly contracting with L&I, or through a language agency, we do not have a union that represents us. That's what we're trying to do as Washington interpreters. A petition must include a showing of interest cards from at least 30% of the employees in the proposed bargaining unit. A showing of interest card states an individual employee's desire to be represented. Each card must be signed and dated within 1 year of the petition filing date, must be kept confidential, and must not be shared with the employer. Any union that reaches 30% first, that union can request or file for an election. There is no set date for this election. It's whenever a union reaches 30% first, then the process begins. It's not a process that's going to be done in 1 or 2 weeks, but that's how it begins. I hope this is clear. How to file. Email, fax, or deliver a completed representation petition from any other documents to PERC and all parties as required by the Washington Administrative Code. Well, after you file, the employer, in this case, our employer, the Department of Labor and Industries, they are, for the purposes of this election, our employer. So it says right here, the employer has 10 days to provide the following information to PERC. Number one, a list of eligible employees, which must be submitted as a separate attachment. 2, the identification of any eligibility challenges. And 3, additional information or documents. The main point right here is that the employer, L&I, has to provide PERC with, number one, a list of eligible employees. In our case, the Department of Labor and Industries has to provide PERC with a list of interpreters that would qualify to vote in this election. Verification of showing of interest. Upon receipt of the list of employees, PERC will compare the list to the showing of interest cards to verify the petition is supported by at least 30% of the employees. So they're going to match these cards. Now, filing additional cards or correcting a deficiency, it has to be submitted by email to PERC. This is very important. This is election by card check, which is something that was believed before, and I even believed this when I was actually organizing with Whoopsie, but this is not the case anymore. It says when more than 50% of employees sign showing of interest cards, a card check is conducted. PERC requests employer records containing the employee's signatures. The signatures on those records are compared to the signatures on the showing of interest cards. Each matching signature counts as a vote in support of representation. No ballots are sent to employees. We have been believing since a couple of years ago that whatever union reaches 50%, half of the employees eligible to vote plus 1, then they by default with a card check count can win the election. But scroll down a little bit, so you see an exception right here. It says the following types of employees cannot have an election by card check. And we have as a last list of employees ourselves.
language access providers. So we cannot have an election by card check. What we're going to have is an election by mail ballot. PERC will conduct an election. The election may be conducted by mail ballot, electronically, or telephonically. PERC will send ballots and voting instructions to the employees. Ballot choices include the petitioning union, no representation, and, if applicable, an intervening union. Employees will return the mail ballots to PERC. Any employee who does not return a ballot has not voted. Returned ballots are tallied on the election date indicated on the posted notice. The election is determined by a majority of ballots returned. If there were two choices on the ballot, a tie vote will result in no representation being certified. If there were more than two choices, a runoff election, this runoff election may occur. The tally results are sent to the representatives on the case.
I want to extend an invitation to all of you that may be still undecided. Whether you are an independent interpreter or an agency owner, you are invited to support this movement. We are moving forward and have a significant lead that no other organization has. We are going to win, but we can win faster with your help. Now it's really the time to put any differences aside that we may have and come together to defeat WFC. Let's obtain the legal representation that we need. Time is of the essence, so please see the link in the description below to print, sign our card, and for instructions on how to send it to us so that we can solidify this lead. Share this video and subscribe to get more relevant information for our interpreting community. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, God bless.